Let's talk Claude Cowork. The product was released yesterday by the team at Anthropic. It is in research preview, but it took Twitter by storm, and everyone is saying that this is basically the first 24/7, always on digital employee that can reliably do any work for you in your work. Basically, people have said that Claude Code is the closest thing to AGI, but it was only accessible to engineers. And for the first time, the power of Claude Code is accessible to non-technical folks with Claude Cowork. So I am going to be going through the entire product. I'm going to be taking you through tasks in my day, and we're going to see if Claude Cowork is able to complete them and how well it is able to complete them. Just for a quick reintroduction, I'm Alex Lieberman, co-founder and managing partner at 10X. Let's hop into this thing. Quick housekeeping so everyone knows what Cowork is. Basically, Claude Cowork is using the same architecture that powers Claude Code. For those of you that don't know what Claude Code is, it's basically a tool for engineers to build software that everyone has basically said that this was the first glimpse of AGI, or artificial general intelligence. It is that good. Rumor has it this was built in a week and a half. And the idea is that there's rough edges, but they're going to continue to improve the product. So let's just hop into this thing. And this is the second time that I'm taking Claude Cowork for a spin. So I'm going to be learning about this product just as you are learning from me. So I'm on the desktop version of Claude. As of right now, you have to download the desktop version of Claude to use Cowork. You have the normal version of Claude here. You have Code, and then you have Cowork. So I'm just going to go into my first task. I know that today I have interviews with a ton of people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I have an insane number of interviews today with candidates for 10X. I want to make sure I'm well prepared for each interview. Can you put together a report that gives me the professional background, educational background, and professional background, educational background, and location of each person I'm interviewing, and make sure that they are in order of the time that I interview them, so that I can just go down the list throughout the day. Also, I'll be sharing this online. So please anonymize the names of people as you are going through the task and with the final output. Okay, so we're just going to do that. And let's fire it up. Let's see what it does. So now what you're seeing it do is it is fully just taking over my calendar to study what interviews I have on my calendar. So this is what it's doing. Also, so you know, for Claude to take over your Google Calendar and do any sort of computer use work, you need to use the Claude extension. So it's going through my calendar. As you can see, it notices that I have something that is not an interview. So it's doing this. So while it does this, I am going to spin up a new task. So we run our business on something called EOS. EOS is like, think of it as OKRs. And what I want to do, what I've always wanted to do is build just a simple web application for our team so we can track all of our EOS numbers in one place. We can update them there and basically acts as like our operating system for our company goals, our issues, etc. So let's do that. So I'm going to say, we run our company on EOS, which is like OKRs. It's how we set our goals, track issues, document core values, long-term mission, etc. I want you to create a web app that I want you to create an EOS web app that allows us to input our goals, track our goals, and be the one-stop shop for running our business on this methodology.
Okay, guys, quick break. I know this is a lot, but if you want some extra support as well as all of the lessons we have learned from doing this for hundreds of companies, check out the link in the description below, and we will run your company's AI audit and set your 12-month roadmap.
Oh, and so now Claude is coming back to something else. It's asking if it can navigate LinkedIn for my initial task of doing research on my interviews today. So I'm allowing the action. It's asking me a lot of times. Okay, so now allow the action. So it keeps asking me if I'm allowing the action. It's not asking anymore. Now the EOS task is running. It's building this app structure. Is there a way? Oh, always allow actions on this site. Okay, hopefully that works. So we're going to have this work on the EOS dashboard. Now we're going to spin up another task. This task, what I'm going to do is one of my goals for this quarter for the business is to set our company's marketing strategy. We've generally been driving demand for our business from my social channels, and we want to diversify away from that. So what I'm going to write is, I have a company goal of driving 600 MQLs this quarter. I want to make sure that I'm no longer driving 90% of our MQLs, and that I'm building a marketing strategy and foundation that can scale beyond me. I created documents that provide feedback on our marketing from last quarter, as well as a document that has all of my ideas for marketing at 10x. I'm going to select the files in the folder, and then we're going to let this rip. Okay, let's go back to the interview thing. Okay, it went through this whole thing. It went through a bunch of people. So now it's doing, so basically it did computer use to look at my Google Calendar. It identified what are all the interviews on my calendar. Now it's using LinkedIn to actually do research on them. And as you can tell, we're going to have to blur this in the final because I don't want people who are interviewing for jobs to have their employer potentially watch this and know. But there's a whole progress section. What I like about Cowork so far is there's this progress section that basically for each task shows you all the steps that need to be taken. And then you also have artifacts here. Artifacts are like when the research report is complete here, it is going to output it there. And then context refers to any of the folders or files that are being used to do the task, as well as any connectors, whether it's Claude and Chrome, whether it's MCPs, whether it's tools that are being used to complete the task as well. So this is firing away. It's doing research on LinkedIn candidates or on candidates using their LinkedIn profile. I can step away from that for a second. This is working on the EOS web app. Okay. And then build scalable marketing strategy. It's working on that right now. As you can see, its steps are analyze the documents that I shared, calculate MQR targets by channel, create comprehensive Q1 2026 marketing strategy document, build an MQL attribution model with channel by channel methodology because I wanted to show how it gets to 600 MQLs, and then verify the strategy aligned with scalability goals. And then artifacts are going to be what it outputs. Oh, so it looks like the EOS dashboard's ready now. So it says your EOS dashboard is, it says your EOS dashboard is ready, I believe. Yeah, here we go. Your EOS dashboard is ready. I've built a comprehensive web application tailored to 10x with all specific numbers redacted for public sharing. And so your dashboard, your vision, your rocks, your scorecard, issues, to-do list. So this is basically the whole structure of how we run our business. Again, I fed it our specific goals, our core values, and all things like that. And then I said, basically build a web app that allows us to view it. As you can see on the right side, all of the sub items of this task were crossed off as it was going through. The artifact here is the final web app. The context that was used is the bottom thing on the right panel here. So let's click view your 10x dashboard, open in Chrome. And this is pretty sick. So this is our EOS dashboard. It has our company rocks, our average MPS, our current ARR. It has our Q1 company rocks and what is our progress to those rocks. So this is the EOS dashboard, the web app that it built. It has our dashboard of all of our rocks, the progress to those rocks, our weekly to-dos, our active issues. I can add an active issue here and assign it to someone. Company rocks, our vision, has our core values that it took as well, our 1 year rocks, our scorecard. This is really amazing. Okay, so let's go back to this. Let's get out of here. Let's see, is it done? So it's still looking up candidates. It's taking a little while to do the interview piece of things, like to prepare the research report. And I have my interview starting in 15 minutes, so we'll see if it's done before then. Let's see if the marketing strategy, which I couldn't open up before, is done. Now, I guess in fairness to Claude Cowork, if I wanted to prepare, basically before having access to this, I would have either done this myself and prepare a guide for all my interviews for today, and that would have taken me, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour of my time, or I just wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have been prepared for these interviews. Okay, let's see. Oh, I want to do one more task around posting on social. So we have a digital event with Austin All Red from Gauntlet AI tomorrow, plus his CTO Ash. I want to do a promo post on X and LinkedIn, getting people excited for the event and getting as many people to sign up. I want you to study my best performing posts on X to understand what hits with my audience. And then I want you to write the promo posts. Here's quick info on the event. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a little bit of information about the event. So I'm going to like Luma, which is where we host our events. And I'm going to share the link for the event so that it can use that. So here's the link for the event. So I have some information about the event here. So we're going to post that here, and then we're going to just let this run. What I will say about this experience is, as you can tell, like there are a lot of rough edges, and the Anthropic team said there would be rough edges, but I can imagine that this is going to be really powerful, because this is, to me, this is a huge paradigm shift where we started in this kind of ChatGPT era with, you have different chats that you start, and each of these chats are, they are, as the name implies, they are chats. But what Cowork did that I think is so smart is basically chats were just renamed as tasks because people understand task lists in their work. So I can imagine now stepping up to work each day. And normally I create my task list on my, just like notes on my Mac. And I can just copy and paste. Like right now, I think I have to create new tasks. What I think will be really cool is if I can just paste tasks into here, it identifies each of these tasks and starts different jobs on each of them. What would also be really helpful here is, and maybe I just don't have it turned on, but I would love to be getting notifications as progress is being hit for each of these tasks and where help is needed. And also when a task is finished. So see, I just got this login to Claude Chrome notification again, and I just don't know why. And then it sends me to Claude in Chrome settings, and there's nothing really for me to do here. Okay, so look, now at least the marketing strategy is done. So let's go through this. We have this artifact, 10x Q1 2026 go-to-market strategy, scalable paths, 600 MQLs. It has total quarterly targets. It assumed a deal value. That's not the right deal value. Scalability problem. It talks about me being a single point of failure. Ceiling effect. Then it has what channels we should focus on, and also how many MQLs will come from each of these channels, channel by channel strategy. And so obviously if I had more time, I could, just like I would with an employee, I could beat up this, that sounds wrong. I wouldn't beat up an employee, but I can beat up this document, to basically ask it questions, give it feedback, and continue to have it revise it until it feels like it's in a good place. The final thing I was going to say, as I was just talking through Cowork, is I do really like the right pane. I like that each task is broken down into these subtasks, and progress is captured as it's going through these subtasks. So you basically know how far you are into this task and how much time is remaining. I actually think if I could actually see like a progress bar or just understand like time to completion, that would be really helpful for me. I like that it drops the artifact here so I can quickly click on the final output and view it. And then there's context on how the task was done. So let's just go back to, so we had the web app was done, marketing strategy, first draft was done, and I would continue to work through it here. Again, it doesn't exist right now, but when you can ultimately share your Cowork instance and share people in these tasks, making these chats multiplayer where I can bring my marketing person in and we can both refine this marketing doc together, that's going to be a huge unlock. The interview thing, it's still looking up candidates. So I don't know if this is going to be done by the time I have my interviews in 9 minutes. But it did create one last night. So I'm going to just bring it up so you can see what the final output looks like. And then let's see how the promotional post is going for the live event. So it's basically said, I will help you create a compelling promo post. It did research on Gauntlet, found key patterns in my high performing posts, and it's actually quoting the post that I've done. So it created an X post. Tomorrow I'm hosting the best 60 minutes of AI education you'll get this month. Don't love that hook. I also don't like a thread format. Every AI team hits the same wall. The demo works. Leadership gets excited. Then someone asks, can we trust this in production? Silence. Tomorrow we're fixing that. Oh, I like this post. I'm hosting Austin Aldred and Ash from Call in AI for a session. Here's what you'll get. It's going to be TV entertainment mixed with overwhelming value. So I think this is solid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, can you actually post the LinkedIn post from my LinkedIn now? So it's navigating. So now it took over my computer again. It's going to go to LinkedIn and let's see. Okay, I can see you're logged in as Alex Lieberman on LinkedIn. I can see the start a post button. Let me click on it to open the post composer. And let me just take you here so you can see what's happening. So again, like looking at this, there's a bunch of rough edges, but I do like this gives me this glimpse into the future where I can just set my task list every morning. Imagine when there's all the connectors set up to Claude Cowork. Imagine when it has access to kind of all of the context it needs from my files, from Google Drive, like all the things that I've given it access to. It has computer use, so it can actually take actions online for me. It can send Slack reminders to people. Like you can really see. And because it can do all these tasks in parallel, you know, as humans, we can only do one task at a given time. This is basically, in a perfect world, a digital employee that can be doing 10 tasks at the same time, keeping me updated, nudging me when it needs help or if it has relevant updates, and then moving on to the next thing. Let's just see. Oh, it's asking me in Cowork if it should post. So I'm going to say, yes, post. So now let's see if it actually posts on LinkedIn. And there we go. It posted. That was entire post written by Claude, studying my previous posts, and then using computer use, all happening through Cowork. So I'm going to take one final check. Wow, at the buzzer, it finished. So let's just view the interview prep report. Opening pages. I literally have a minute until my first call. So let me just open this quickly, and then we're going to be done with this recording. Okay, here we go. Interview preparation report. Let me just show it to you quickly. So we have an interview preparation report, total candidates, my 915, who's literally probably on the Google Meet now, what the position is. It wasn't able to find information on them. That's interesting. Wonder why. Next one, person is a forward deployed engineer, New York based, went to MIT, currently an FTE at Palantir, moving on. And so you just go through the whole list, and now I have my entire day brief for me. All in all, Claude Cowork, I would say definitely rough around the edges, but everyone's been talking about the power of Claude Code and the agent loop and the tool access and the context access that it has given to engineers, making that accessible to all knowledge workers. I would say Cowork is the first glimpse of that. Is it perfect? No. but I see this glimpse into the future where I can wake up every day, have my task list, delegate it to Cowork, and the vast majority of my tasks are done for me by the time I'm done with a meeting or done with something else. So I would say this is a huge game changer. And if you are a non-technical professional, it is in your best interest to learn this tool as quickly as you can and continue to stay updated with all of the changes that they're inevitably going to make over the coming weeks and months. Awesome. Hope this was helpful, and I'll see you guys soon.